Okay, family. I am Lord Eric Steele, aka Big Rossi Love, and we are here on another episode of FBA All Day, the show about justice and understanding for our people. And I'm going to be answering the remainder of the email. The second part, or part two of that, was what do you think about Elon Musk? Was the question. And just like anything that I try to teach you guys or that I go over with you guys, I let you know that in order to address an issue, you need to understand the issue. Understanding what always includes the history. You need to know the history. So, what do I think about Elon Musk? Well, first of all, I like to think about when I think of Elon Musk, I think of, well, he's a billionaire. And we'll start there. We'll start breaking this thing down. Let's break it all the way down. Elon Musk is first and foremost, he is a South African. He is a part of that place in Africa, the southern part of Africa, where black people were still dealing with apartheid and the effects of apartheid. And Elon grew up doing that. Okay? He grew up with that area of the world that really enforces white supremacy. Okay? They really practice white supremacy heavily there. Okay? Now, I'm not just making things up. I'm giving you facts. This has nothing to do about feelings. This is facts. Literally, the black people there were doing all the work and they were living in the most horrendous living conditions. So they were doing the work. They were mining all day, digging out golds and diamonds, precious minerals, and doing all the hard work. And they were living in places that look like this. They were doing all the work, all the hard laboring, and they're living in places like this. Right across the street from the people who literally do nothing. Those folks do nothing there. And they're living like this. Right across the street. This is an aerial shot that shows you exactly the difference between the two sets of people. One set is where the white people live, and the other set is where the black people live. That's literally how they live down there. Okay? Literally how they live down there. And look how the contrast between the good living of the white people and the horrible living of the black people, you can literally see it's across the street from one another. Look. Okay? So once you understand this, get that basic understanding of where Elon comes from. That's where he comes from. Okay? He came to us from that upbringing. He was raised in that. Okay? Now, a lot of people know Elon or became familiar with Elon through a company called Tesla. He's recognized by a lot of people who don't know. They think he started Tesla. They think he's the founder of Tesla. He made Tesla. And that's just not true. It's not true. That's not true at all. First of all, Tesla was not a company. It was a man. There was an inventor named Nikola Tesla. In 1891, Nikola Tesla invented the Tesla coil. It is an electric resonant transformer circuit. Okay? Nikola Tesla was a person, a scientist, an inventor, a creator. Okay? Now you've seen that coil in a lot of movies. It shoots off electricity. It's really high electricity, but it doesn't harm you. It's very popular in the malls. They have a store called Spencer's. They'll usually have a ball that when you put your hand on the ball, the electricity shoots to your fingertips. It don't hurt you. You can feel it. It's almost like static electricity. You can feel it as you rub your hand over the ball, but the electricity will follow your fingertips. It looks like a light. Almost looks like lightning in a bottle. That was invented by Tesla, Mr. Tesla. Okay, very fascinating. They weren't able to really do much with that. Well, first, the Tesla coils produce AC, which is alternate current, at a high frequency. It's really not useful. Um, it can't direct power to where it's needed. Like you can't really focus the power where it's needed, and most of the power just dissipates into the air, just radiates into space. There and since there was really no way to bill, you really can't bill or charge people for using that. That's why it never really grew. It didn't really grow in popularity as far as a useful thing for society because they couldn't find a way to bill you. They couldn't find a way to bill you for it. That's what it boils down to. Okay. So that's the origins. That's where Tesla comes from. Now, as far as the Tesla cars, you say, oh, well, Elon, he didn't create the Tesla coil, but he must have created the Tesla car. No, no. He did not create the Tesla car. The Tesla car company was founded by Martin Eberhard and Mark Tarpenning, not Elon Musk. Okay? Elon, like a lot of these people who are really, really rich, they find somebody else's creation or idea, then they capitalize. He put in enough money to become a co-founder, to become a part of the company that was already in existence. He just dumped in enough money so that he had a pertinent say. And then he just made his legal ways and maneuvers to bully everybody else out. That's the American way. Apple did it. Steve Jobs did it with Apple. Um, Zuckerberg did it with Facebook. Zuckerberg did not create Facebook. He took somebody's idea and expounded on it. Okay? It's a repetitive thing you hear in the origin stories of all these billionaires. It's a repetitive story. You hear it. And because they have money, because they have access to funds that other people don't have, doesn't make them smarter than anybody else. Because they have resources and their level of, or should I say, having no level of moral direction, they can just step on somebody and take what they have and turn it into something. You put enough money behind anything, it'll become a success. If the right money is behind it, look at the money they put behind Trump becoming president. You see? And a lot of these people, they always tell you, when you ask them, pardon me, when you ask them about their beginnings or their origins, they all come to tell you they want to relate to you. They all try to be, well, I started from nothing. I had nothing. I'm self-made. I made my... Don't believe that. Don't believe that. Let me tell you the truth. Elon was asked, okay, about his origins. Asked him he said he was self-made. He said, and I quote, I grew up in a lower, transitioning to an upper, middle income situation. Self-made though. Okay. Let's do some real actual history on this guy. They said, oh, he's self-made. He made his money by, well, he had a company that he sold for $22 million called Zip2. He sold it to Compaq. That sounds good, but then you go, well, he sold his company. How did he get a company to sell in the first place? We're not born with companies. That's not the way life works. Having a company is not just something you just have. Oh, I had a company and I sold. No, 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 no. How did you get the company? How did you get the company? He got the company from a loan he got from his father's house. He started the company. So the self-made guy got a loan of over $30,000 back in the 90s. You know how much money $30,000 was back in the 90s? He got $30,000 to start a company. I guess that's interesting. Then you go, well, who just has $30,000 laying around they could give their kid to start a company? Who just randomly has 30,000 because Elon said he wasn't rich. He said he's self-made. Somehow his dad just happened to have $30,000 laying around to give him to start a company. Yeah, that sounds like a self-made person, doesn't it? Not at all. So then you start doing some digging. And you realize that the Musk family was wealthy during Elon's youth. He's just lying. He's just a liar. His father owned an emerald mine. Do you know what an emerald is? It's a precious gems, the green stone. His father owned a mine, had interest in the mine, had dealings with emeralds. These were not poor people. That's nonsense. These were not poor people. He just gets in front of people, and because he's rich, they just allow him to lie. They just accept it. They don't want to make him mad, so they just let him lie. But that is a bold-faced lie. He's not self-made, and he did not grow up poor in a low-income house. That's just a lie. Just looking at his father. Just looking at his father, you can see his father was an engineer and something else. Father's worth millions. He's still worth millions. That's just a lie. Okay? And as I said, that's just his father. As we dig deeper, because you don't get on this planet by yourself. You have a father and you have a mother. His mother is named Mae Musk. She's a successful model and had a nutritional career. She is what Americans would call wealthy. Her, the woman, has a worth of 45 million. His mother has 45 million. Does that sound like somebody who grew up poor to you? Father owns emerald mines. Mother was a model worth 45 million. He wasn't poor. That's a lie. It's just a lie. They always tell that lie. Donald Trump told that lie one time. He was self-made. I'm a self-made millionaire. My father gave me a loan of $1 million. Wait. If your father gave you $1 million, how do you figure you're a self-made millionaire? Pay attention, people. This stuff is not hard. I do a little research and you can bring all these lies to the forefront. That's a lie. Elon's a liar. Trump is a liar. All these billionaire people. You notice they never create anything. Look at all these billionaires. Majority of them haven't created a thing. They've latched on to somebody else's idea and exploited it. To them, that's smart. Oh, I'm smart. Look how I can mess over people. One of our ancestors, can't remember who I can attribute this thing to, but it says the only thing the dominant society has created is the patent office. It's the only thing we can give them credit for creating because they make their money off of other people's intellectual property and work. They don't. These people are not smarter than us. They're not smarter than you. They're not smarter than I. The only thing they have over us is they have a system that works in their favor. If we are all on a level playing field, if we are all treated with equity, it would be the most topsy-turvy thing you've ever seen. So they have to stack the deck in their favor. They have to stack the deck in their favor in order to be where they are. The most, if you look at, that's why when you see the most influential, richest people, the most people you know about, if you look at them, they're the ones who have the lowest amount of morals. Very frequently, they're bold-faced liars. There's always a deviant background, some sort of tomfoolery in the background. Trump's dad and grandfather were pimps. They've always stepped and hurt on a bunch of people to get where they are. That's how you can. The only way you can amass that kind of money is by being a person of low morals. First of all, you have to have the fortitude to be able to step on a smaller guy. You have to have that for a lot of these industries. In order for you to be successful, you have to want to step on people. Elon Musk is simply a liar. It's been proven time and time again. And the same reason why they said NASA was going to give up their space exploration for them blowing up and people dying in rockets. Elon has done blew up 8 rockets. He done exploded 8 ships. What's the difference in him blowing up rockets and ships and NASA blowing up rockets and ships? There's no difference, which means he's not smarter than them. He's not. But what makes people think he's smarter than the people that we had at NASA? He's not. Just because he got money, all that money didn't bring that ship he launched back down, did it? That ship exploded, just like the ships exploded from NASA. He's been doing it a shorter amount of time, and he's already done exploded 8 ships. He already done blew up eight rockets already. Let me tell you another tidbit. You want to talk about welfare? You want to talk about receiving money on the government, from the government rather, living off the government? Elon Musk, the South African Elon Musk, he's from South Africa. Elon Musk has received 38 billion taxpayer dollars. Over 38 billion taxpayer dollars have been given to Elon Musk. Who's the welfare queen? Who's the welfare queen? Okay, people. Well, these are my thoughts on Elon Musk. He's interesting. He's interesting, but I know what he is. I see him for who he is. He's not some great genius in my mind. He's just a guy from South Africa that has resources that other people don't have. That's all. That's all. He's a got 2 baby mamas is suing him for neglecting child and looking for sole custody of their children. 14 kids. So what do I think Elon Musk? I think he's horrible for our country is what I think. I think he's horrible for the United States is what I think. I think he should be the very last person to set his foot in our White House. That's what I think. That's what I think. I think he's doing some things that are positive, but he's being very sneaky and deceptive on the other hand too. I don't mind people talking about they want things to be done. He wants to get rid of excessive waste is what they said. But how are you the one to get rid of excessive waste when you're blowing up rocket ships, government funded rocket ships? I think you should look within. If you're the one that's going to be looking for excessive waste of the taxpayer dollar, I think you should start with yourself first. That's what I think. Start with yourself. Start with your company. Start with your companies. If you're looking for excessive waste, why not start there? On one little tidbit, I don't know, a lot of people might not know about this, but before Joe Biden left, he signed and he put this order into place for 400,000. He wanted to have a study on the uses of electrical vehicles in the government. He set aside, I think it was like 400,000. He set aside for that. When Elon got in there, when Elon got his hands on Donald Trump and got into the White House, Elon added some zeros to that thing. And he wanted to do that because he was going to give the contract was going to go to Tesla. So the number for the study and for the purchase of electrical vehicles for the government went from 400,000 to 400 million because he was going to get the contract, you see. That's what I mean by sneaky and devious and backhanded. Well, that's not sneaky or yeah, because what they did was when they got in there to make that adjustment or the increasement, they tried to make the date. They tried to backdate it so that it would look like Biden's original plan was for 400 million and not the 40,000. That is actually fraud, but because the Republicans are in charge of the government right now and Trump is his homeboy, he know he's not going to receive any kind of he's not going to have to have any kind of retribution for that. He's not going to have to receive any he's not going to have the Justice Department looking at him for that. But that is fraud. A jailable amount, 400 million from 400,000. That's fraud. That's defrauding the government. That's defrauding the American people. But he ain't gonna have no repercussions for that. They're not gonna do nothing to him for that. But that's something people don't know. Yeah, that's the type of person he is. So yeah, that's what do I think of Elon Musk? Typical member of the dominant society. They have to tip the scales in their favor. Well, that's on this. I'm gonna end this one on that note. Again, this is FBA All Day. Lord Eric Steele. We ask you to like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you find anything I say in error, I am not above reproach. Feel free to reach out. You can reach me at our About Black Business at myyahoo.com is the email address. You can reach me on Facebook, X, and Instagram. So like, comment, share, and subscribe. Again, it's your boy, Lord Eric Steele. Is always love.